Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Don't Forget Your Shine podcast brought to you by the Crude Hippie. I hope you guys are all doing well tonight or today, whenever you are tuning into this episode. I appreciate you guys so much for being here and staying tuned as we are constantly growing and evolving. Today's episode, we are going to talk about overcoming fear, reclaiming power, and embracing new experiences in life because I think that's something so significant that we all can relate to as we've gone through so much in life. And it's just time for new beginnings and new opportunities and new ways of being, new outlooks. I have gone through many years of my life feeling trapped or stuck or immobile in the fear of what would happen if I did the things that I wanted to do with my life. And I created a lot of blockages in my way because of the fear of, what other people had thought or expected of me. So it was really hard for me to get out of my own way and even to talk about this right now and make a podcast about it and be vulnerable to put myself out there in this way. But I think it's important and it's something that we all can relate on is sometimes you have a lot of things that you want to do with your life, but we put it aside for other people and the idea of the life that, you know, maybe somebody else had for you for a long time. So it's important to take back your power and to take back your strength and to find your self identity when you have been reclaiming that for so long after experience something like that, where you just kind of put yourself on the back burner for everybody else, whether it's your job or work or relationships or family or whatever it may be. We all create these things to dim ourselves down, to make ourselves more comfortable, to fit the mold of what we think society wants of us. But it is important to be true to yourself and authentic to yourself and care what you think about yourself and how you feel about you and the world and how you treat other people. And those are the things that matter. Other people's perception of me does not matter as much as my perception of me and who I've become because I know the person that I'm overcoming becoming. You know what I mean? I know the person I once was, and I know the things that I once tolerated, and I know the things that have hurt me before, and the things that I have hurt myself doing or hurt other people doing. And I'm at this point in my life where I am unstucking myself and breaking down all of these walls of the self doubt and past trauma and all of these fears of failure and failed opportunities or missed opportunities, or every time that I literally would just stop doing something because I was afraid of how somebody else would react to me doing it or feeling it, and what that felt like killing my own spirit every single time, denying myself from being able to use my voice and do the things that I wanted to do and be the person that I know that I'm meant to be. I essentially dimmed my own light so much over the course of so many years that I didn't think that I could relight myself. And lately, there's just this fire inside of me that is like, you know what? We're different. And we learned and we lived and we experienced things and we're ready for something so much bigger and better than what all of those blockages and self-doubt and trauma and, post-traumatic stress or whatever that pops up with certain life experiences that give you flashbacks and, make you go through the things that you just, you know, you didn't want to have to be the strong person and to, bear through the things that have happened in your life, but ultimately you had to because that's the only thing that you can do. You go through the things that you are going through, and you have no idea how to navigate it or what's going to happen. And then eventually everything just unfolds how it may. And sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's bad, and sometimes it's ugly, and sometimes it's indifferent, and, all of the things. But somehow you still got it, and you pull strength out of parts of you that you never thought that you had, or that even existed, or that you knew were possible within yourself. And before you know it, you're past that hurdle and you're on to the next one. And life is just a constant hurdle jump of, okay, this one, okay, this is going to happen next. And then this is going to happen next. And you can't even heal what you've gone through before you're going through the next thing. And then you just become numb and exhausted and exuberated because you don't know what to do anymore. So it's important to have those days where you're like, you know what? I'm taking back my power, and I'm going to reclaim myself, and I'm going to do these things for me, and, really honor who I am and what my calling is, because for so long in my life, I have literally backburned myself and not done anything to better my own mental health or my, well-being, because I was so preoccupied taking care of everybody else's bullshit. And it's like, the bullshit was important at the time, like it always is. Every hurdle is important at the time as it is, but where do you find time to take care of yourself? When are you going to start doing that for yourself? And that's what, God and the universe is telling me. And I'm having a really hard time talking about God now since this last podcast, because everybody just kind of has this, you're a Jesus thumper, you're a Bible thumper, you don't have church hurt, you don't understand, blah, 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 blah. And the truth is, I do get it. I don't have to have the same church hurt as you to understand that nobody wants to be preached to in a specific way. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to give faith to people who want it, who need it, who are looking for a little something in their day that they just want to listen to, that's real and authentic and actually means something, that they could learn something from, that would better their life. Like, I am not trying to shove Jesus down your throat, but what I am trying to do is share what has happened to me and what I have the courage to finally talk about, because life hasn't been easy. It is hard, and it's constantly changing, and I never know what's going to happen next. And my life as I know it is on a complete 360, and 180. It is constantly moving, like we're rotating with the earth and the planets. Like, shit is constant rotation. So I'm not going to sit here and be like fake about it, when in reality you guys are all going through shit too, and you feel it too, and you've been there too. And there's things that you probably are suppressing that you don't want to deal with within yourself, that you'd rather just listen to something else or listen to somebody. And I'm that friend that, you know, people don't know they signed up for, because I'm going to be real and I'm going to break it down to you, and I'm going to be authentic, but I'm going to be loving about it, and I'm not going to be hateful, and I'm not going to, shove anything down your throat. If you want to hear it, you want to hear it. If you don't, you don't. But what I'm here for is to be a help to the people who just need something other than whatever the hell you're chasing, other than whatever the hell you're going through. Like, I'm just here to hang out with you guys. I'm just here to vibe with you guys. I'm just here to talk about real life stuff, about things that are, of constant occurrence, or of evolution, of things that literally are getting better or getting worse. Like, I'm going to be real about the situation, because life is like that. And I mean, lately it's been pretty good, but ultimately it's constantly showing you who you are and who you're becoming and what's worth it, what's not, and, how we could do things differently. And the older I get, the more I realize that you just gotta do it. You just gotta do it. You know? You're not gonna be for everybody, and everybody's not gonna be for you. Not everybody's gonna understand your journey or the reason why you do the things that you do in your life. But the most important thing about it all, you guys, is that you just do it. It doesn't matter what they think. It doesn't matter what other people's perception of you is. It doesn't matter how people view you or, want to take you. People are going to know certain versions of you. They're going to know what they make up in their mind, or they're going to see things within you that they don't like about themselves. And sometimes there could be constructive criticism, and I believe that that's a good thing. But I think a lot of the time people just project things that they're insecure about or that they fear experiencing again or that they see within themselves that they don't like about themselves that you do. Or maybe you are something that they wish that they could be. You know what I mean? There's always something there in the subconscious that makes people feel like they can judge, but in reality, it's just something that they're insecure about within themselves. So, if you are open with yourself and honest with yourself, and you like who you are as a person, and you're sure of yourself, then that's all that matters. Because nobody else is going to understand the plan that God gave you, that the universe put into you, but you. This is your journey. It's not anybody else's. And who is anybody else to judge you for whatever the hell you choose to do with your life? I mean, if you're not hurting anybody or doing drugs or doing crazy stuff. Like, if you're just living to be a better person and doing better things with your life, then that's all that matters. If you are making the active choice every single day to not do the drugs anymore, or not drink the alcohol anymore, or not vape anymore, or seeking mental help or talking about your problems with a professional and working the things out, if you are doing the damn thing for you and you're becoming a better person because of it, and you're not suppressing all of these things that hurt you and, that cut deeper, if you're actually doing the work, then that's all that matters because that's all that we're supposed to do. You want to be happy? Choose to be happy. You want to do better? Choose to do better. You want to stop hurting? Stop hurting other people. You know what I mean? You want to stop hurting other people? Stop hurting yourself. You want to stop doing that? Let go of the shit that hurts you. Talk about it. Work it out. Breathe it out. Do breath work. Work out at the gym. Get the energy out of your body. Do something for yourself. It is the time. It has never been more the time to just take care of yourself, do the damn thing, stop thinking about doing it and actually do it. Don't put everybody else before yourself because nobody's going to put you before them. You know? That's just how it goes. Like, nobody's going to take care of you the way that you could take care of you. Maybe your mommy, but even then, mommies have their own shit going on too. So please just take care of yourself in the best way that you can for you, because that's all you can do. And I know I sound harsh, but I'm just coming at this at a different approach. And I think I just want to be more real with it and how I feel and what's going on in my brain, because I really have had to have this conversation with myself a lot lately that it doesn't matter. Sometimes you got to revisit the things that you've been through in order to see how far you've come and to see if you'd react differently. And life is all about how you react to things and how you're choosing to react to things. So I think it's extremely important to sit there and self reflect a little bit and be like, hmm, what was I blocking myself from because of the things that said A, B, and C did with trauma? You know what I mean? Like, what were the A, B, C, and D things that you may have put in your road in order to protect yourself as a coping mechanism to not experience the things that hurt you? And how do we unpack that? How do we, you know, validate the hurt but heal it? Or give it room to be let go, you know what I mean? Like, those things will always hurt, but there's ways to go about it within yourself where it doesn't hurt the same, if that makes sense. Like, it's okay to, really wish that certain things didn't happen to you and know that that was not right and you shouldn't have ever had to go through any of that. But at the same time, I think it's really important to be like, yeah, I went through this and it shaped me who I was and I am, and I appreciate all of the versions of me that had to heal from this and that experience this experience. And I want to give myself room to grow and honor who I was in that moment so that way I can honor who I am now. Because I think that's extremely important for everybody to know that you need to honor who you are now and who you were, because often we give so many, like, ego deaths, or like, oh, that part of me is dead. Like, you know, I've been there too. Of like, oh, that version of me is dead, but like, she had to come back in a lot of ways in order to heal the things that I needed to reparent myself in this way, to truly understand why I am the way I am and why I do what I do and where I'm going. You know what I mean? And that's life for you, is a constant shift of figuring out, why did it happen, and it's okay that it happened, and now it's time to move on. And I'm not going to beat myself up over shit that I can't change or I can't make different. I'm going to be good to myself and I'm going to be good to other people, and I'm going to build beautiful experiences in this life because I'm done being the blockage in my own way. And if you're with me, you're with me. And if you're not, you're not. That's cool. I still love you regardless. I have love for all the people, whether, you've been a part of my life forever or for a second. You know what I mean? I honor that existence and the memories and the, who I've shaped to be from all of the people and places and things that I've seen in my life. But I'm ultimately going to honor my highest self by, you know, being really strict with whom I share my energy with and when I choose to speak or what I choose to speak about. And if I want to speak about a lot of things that, were harder in life, then I'm going to do that when I feel it's necessary. And I know that a lot of people may not like that, and it's never anything personal. It's something spiritual. It's something that I've waited my whole life to do, and I'm just going to do it. And I'm sorry that it's hard to hear and that, I may be a lot for a lot of people, but the right people are going to find me and hear me and be grateful that they heard me because they feel how I feel and they've gone through what I've gone through. And maybe they could take something from the way that I look at life or the way that I hold myself together after all of the fucking crazy shit that I have experienced in my life. Because when I start unpacking it, you know, it's going to be wild, and that's okay. Not everything is meant to be on the internet, but some people have crazy testimonies of life in order to let other people know that they don't have to be alone. You know what I mean? You don't have to be alone. You're not the only one who's gone through these things, and we can talk about uncomfortable things here and real conversations and, have a vulnerable place to be yourself and to feel like life is worth living, and it gets better, because sometimes it feels like it's not going to, and not everybody has a friend that they can call every day to be like, hey, I'm not good right now, but you can tune into my podcast anytime that you want, and I'll be here to tell you, hey, I know it's fucked up right now, but life is going to get so much better and you got this. It's going to be okay. You're going to do the damn thing. We are doing the damn thing and life is going to be okay. And God did not put you here to not see you through all the things that you're going through. So don't give up. Don't stop moving. Don't keep drowning in the things that you cannot change about your life. I understand how much it hurts. I've sat in the darkness so long in my life that all I want to be is the light because I understand. I understand what it feels like being at your lowest. But I'm telling you, life is worth living and you have a calling and you have a soul's purpose, but you gotta get out of your own way. You gotta start doing the things that you are afraid to do in this life. You gotta start living your life for you and being uncomfortable and doing the things that your soul is calling you to do for the better. Stop going back into the things that hurt you or don't heal you. You're never going to find your happiness in the substance or the alcohol or the inti- intimate moments. I don't want to say what I want to say, but you know what I want to say. But ultimately, you have to live this life for you, and you can't live it by numbing it and suppressing it and making blockages for yourself that will only dig you deeper away from your goals and in a hole that you feel like you can't get out of. And from somebody who's been at that hole for so many years of their life and is finally almost to the top of building a ladder to get the fuck out of this hole, I'm still not out of the fucking hole, but I am trying. And like the fact that I'm sitting here talking about this, even debating putting this on here, it's important, you know? It is important because we all need the encouragement to just get out of your way. Stop caring. Build yourself out of that hole. Stop limiting yourself because you're scared of what other people think. Don't care what other people think. Care what you think and what you know is possible for yourself, and do what you got to do to take care of yourself in this life because nobody else is going to care for you the way that you care for you. And nobody else is going to have your back the way that you have your back. And you need to start showing up for yourself in the way that you know that you have your back. Because ain't nobody got you like you got you. And that's on everything. So I'll stop I'll stop my whole rant. I hope that this really made some sense and it impacts the right people. And I'm sorry if it's rough. I just want to be open about it and like maybe even leave myself a reminder ultimately that hey, get out of your own way. Like, what are you talking about, girlfriend? Like, do you know where we came from? Do you know the things that we have overcome in this life? Like, what are you doing? And then actually honor that. You feel me? Like, okay, all right. So things aren't what they seem or what they used to seem like. And this life, even though PTSD happens, these aren't real experiences that are happening now, but understanding the red flags and the green flags and the every flag in between, the white flags within yourself, like honor it. Just honor it. I'll see you guys next week. I love you guys so much.